Hey everyone, so listen to this. We're talking about a lot of money here, like over $1 billion, just sitting around waiting to be claimed. This is all from Unclaimed 2021 tax refunds. And get this, the deadline to file those 2021 tax returns and snag this cash is coming up quick, April 15, 2025. That might seem far off, but it's closer than you think. We're talking over 1.1 million people nationwide who might have these unclaimed refunds just waiting for them. And the median amount is nothing to sneeze at either, about $781. To put that into perspective, let's look at some specific states. In Maryland, about 23,000 people are estimated to have unclaimed refunds, with a median of around $827. Over in New York, it's even higher. The median refund is about $995, and an estimated 73,000 people might be missing out. And in Mississippi, the average refund sits at about $701 for something like 9,600 folks. Yeah, there's a good chance someone you know, or maybe even you listening right now, could have some money coming their way. So let's dig into this a little deeper, shall we? One of the main sources of these unclaimed funds is the recovery rebate credit. You remember those stimulus checks, the economic impact payments that went out during the pandemic? Well, if you were eligible for one or more of those payments but didn't get them for some reason, you can actually claim that money back to the recovery rebate credit on your 2021 tax return. We're talking up to $1,400 per person, so definitely worth looking into. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The IRS has actually been pretty proactive about this. Since December of 2024, they've been sending out automatic payments for those unclaimed recovery rebate credits. They're using the bank account info or address they have on file from your 2023 tax return, and they plan to keep sending these payments out through late January 2025. And if you're one of the lucky ones getting an automatic payment, you'll be getting a letter from the IRS to let you know. But hold on, there's a catch. Even if you don't get one of those automatic payments, you can still claim the credit. You just need to file that 2021 tax return before that April 15th, 2025 deadline. And this applies even if you don't have much income or even any income at all in 2021. We're talking potentially billions of dollars being sent out in these automatic payments. It's pretty incredible. Now, on top of those stimulus-related credits, there are also plain old unclaimed 2021 tax refunds. These can happen for a bunch of different reasons. Maybe your employer took out too much federal income tax from your paychecks throughout the year, and here's the kicker alive. If this could even be the case if your income was low enough but you weren't required to file a return in the first place. But remember, there's no penalty for not filing if you actually due a refund. You could have money just sitting there waiting for you without even realizing it. Plus, a lot of low and moderate income workers might qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit or the EITC. Back in 2021, this credit could be worth up to $6,728 for folks with qualifying children. It was a huge help for a lot of individuals and families making below a certain income level. And speaking of 2021, that was a pretty big year for tax benefits thanks to the American Rescue Plan. They actually expanded a few key tax credits quite a bit. The Child Tax Credit, or CTC, got a boost up to $3,000 per child for dependents between 6 and 17 years old. And for kids 5 and under, even more, $3,600. It's a pretty big jump from the usual $2,000. But there's more for most families. That expanded child tax credit became fully refundable. They even extended eligibility to 17-year-old dependents just for that year. The tax credit for child dependent care also got a temporary bump in 2021. The maximum went up to $4,000 for one qualifying kid and $8,000 for two or more. And guess what? That credit also became fully refundable. So if you had a baby in 2021 and claimed them as a dependent, you might be eligible for this sweet enhanced credit. That could even include a pandemic stimulus payment of up to $1,400 for that little one. And if you added the dependent to your 2021 tax return, like a parent, niece, nephew, or grandchild, those expanded credits might apply to you too. Now, if I know what you're thinking, how does the IRS even know about these potential refunds in the first place? Well, they're pretty good at connecting the dots. They use info from those W-2 forms your employer sends, 1099 forms for other types of income, and statements from banks and other financial institutions. They put all that together and figure out who might have some unclaimed cash. But knowing about a potential refund isn't enough, you got to claim it. To get your hands on your 2021 tax refund or that recovery rebate credit we talked about, you absolutely have to file a 2021 tax return. And don't forget that deadline, April 15, 2025. If you need the forms and instructions, head over to the IRS website at IRS.gov. Look for the Find Forms and Instructions section. It's pretty easy to find. Now, before you rush up to file, there are a couple important things to remember. If you haven't filed your tax returns for 2022 and 2023 yet, the IRS may hold on to any 2021 refund you're owed. Also, if you owe any back taxes or other debts to the federal government or a state agency, they can take that money out of your refund. That includes things like unpaid child support or other federal debts. So here's the bottom line, folks. If you skip filing a tax return for 2021, do yourself a favor and get that done before April 15th, 2025. You never know, you might have a nice chunk of change waiting for you, especially with those boosted tax credits they have that year. Take a minute to think about it, maybe even spread the word to your younger friends, family members, or anyone you know who might have forgotten to file. It could be be missing out on money that's rightfully theirs. All right, that about wraps things up for today's deep dive. Remember, that deadline to claim your 2021 tax refund and the recovery rebate credit is April 15th, 2025. Don't let it pass you by. Filing that 2021 tax return is the key to getting your hands on those funds, and with those expanded tax credits from that year, it's definitely worth trying out. Don't miss out on what could be yours. And as always, if you enjoyed today's deep dive, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more informative content. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.